Hello, friends. I am so excited to offer this teaching in advance of our upcoming concert with Tandu that's coming this Sunday, March 14th. So, who is Tandu? Tandu is a young Jerusalem based ensemble group, and they have a lot of energy. Their repertoire includes both old music, contemporary music, music from Eastern Jewish traditions, particularly from Eastern traditions, and also music from the West. And they also play music that includes both religious and secular themes. So I wanted to first start with one of the songs that is a piyut. A piyut is a kind of liturgical poem that in the later, the Middle Ages, it became much more of a popular modality. And we still use piyutim consistently. Particularly, we have a piyut on Shabbat morning called El Adon that we sing. But you'll also find that we use piyutim on high holidays. In recent years, the form of the piyut has witnessed a kind of resurgence in Israel, where you first had a gathering in, trying to collect melodies and old piyutim, and sort of really a renewed interest in that, to then the creation of new melodies to those piyutim, and also the creation of new piyutim as well. So today I wanted to offer the teaching about the piyut Manavu Ale, which was a piyut that's more recent than some of the medieval piyutim. It's Iraqi in an origin by Rabbi Shimon ben Rabbi Nisim. It was written sort of late 19th century, early 20th century in Iraq. And the piyut has a structure which has the first and third lines of each stanza rhyme, and it draws from a lot of verses of prophetic writings, particularly from Isaiah. And it's a very upbeat piyut, and it's very popular in Israel in weddings, kind of captures a sense of joy about the return of exiles and Zion welcoming the return of her exiles. So let's take a look at the piyut itself, and then I'm going to play a little bit of the music. The chorus has the words Ma navu ale el heharim ragle mevaser shalom bebinyan irech. How welcome on the mountain are the footsteps announcing peace in the building of your city. So it's as if the city was empty, and then the footsteps come back on the mountain and they're announcing peace in the building of Jerusalem. Those verses about sort of return are taken from Isaiah, and you'll see the verses there in the footnote. And first, you'll see that the tone here is very upbeat, and it matches the music, which we'll hear in a bit. You can see the first verse is Kol Sofayich Yis'u Kol Rina Hitna'ari Mitoch Megina. Those who see you raise a voice of gladness or of joy, and Hitna'ari, shake off the dust of any sadness and pain. Ayin be'ayin tir'i shchina, for each and every eye shall see the divine presence. Shavu v'nayich ligvudlech, and your children shall return to their borders. You'll notice that Hitna'ari is the same words that we use in Lecha Dodi, Hitna'ari me'afar kumi. That's the verse that he was getting that notion of shake yourself off from the dust to go greet the Shekhinah. So there's connecting here of coming back to Jerusalem to engage and experience the divine presence in joy. The second stanza has this also notion of release. Lishvuyim dro beshel umizmol el beit har hamol yehish shvilech. The ones who are captured, imprisoned, they will have freedom through song and chorus to the mountain of Jerusalem, the whole Har Hamor, the holy temple. That will be your path, right? Again, these roads leading to Jerusalem. Solu et hamesilah, Pitzchu renana utehila. Pave the way, flatten out the road so we can get there, break out into joyous song and prayer. Yavo mevasil belshono milah, kumi uri kiva orech. The herald will bring the good news. Arise and shine, for your light has dawned. And if you also notice those words, kumi, ori, kiva, olech, that is also taken from Lecha Dodi. Even from these first two verses, and the rest of the piyut has a similar tone, that there is a sense of hope, a sense of joy and possibility, a sense of a new dawn emerging in the return to Zion. I think we, in the diaspora, this is part and parcel the basis of some of the traditional prayers that we say, even in our Amidah. But there's a way in which the Paitan, the creator of the piyut, I think infused a new sense of creativity and a joy into the process of its creation. So let's take a moment and we'll listen to just these first verses just to give you a feel for the song. A little postscript, which is the Paitan, the creator of the piyut, did make Aliyah close to the end of his life, but he arrived in Israel and got his money stolen and ended up in a transit camp where Iraqi immigrants were treated very poorly, and it shortened his lifespan as a result. Maybe in that spirit, we honor Rabbi Nissim's spirit by lifting up the joy that he created for this piyut. The second song that I want to just share some teaching about is Jewish Israeli rock song by Aharon Razel. Razel was born in 1974 in New York City, but returned to Israel when he was very young and was always quite musically talented. He's a singer-songwriter, and he fits within a larger genre of contemporary Jewish music that, like the rebirth of the piyut, we've also seen a rebirth in general of Jewish folk rock music that draws strongly from various traditional Jewish sources. This song that we're going to see in a moment, What Did You Do Today, doesn't directly link it as much as other songs do, but many Israeli folk rock musicians also have really drawn themselves to their Jewish roots in creating music. So let's take a look at the lyrics of this song. You'll see that this is a slower paced rock song, kind of reflective, and it feels like this is a song that really fits well as a song that is dedicated to cheshbon nefesh, which means taking a look at your deeds and your actions in your life, not only about who you've caused hurt and harm to, but have you really sought to live out your full potential as a human being? You'll see that the word hayom has a rhythmic, hypnotic quality within the song itself. Hayom meaning today, today, today. So kind of telling you to telescope and focus on the urgency of now and of today in terms of creating fulfilling, meaningful lives. Ma asita hayom, ma ratzita hayom. What did you do? What did you desire today? Et mi chibakta bechom shelo natan lecha lalechet. Who did you hang warmly, so warmly that they wouldn't let you go? Ma chipasta hayom, ma matzata hayom. What did you look for? What did you find? Ma hitzliach ligrom lecha la'atzor veshuv lalechet. What caused you to stop and then go again, but go again in probably a new direction? And this is about pausing, stopping, taking in. Ha'im shamata et hasher sheshara hatzipor lecha. Did you hear this, the bird song? Did you hear the song the bird was directing to you? Ha'im shamalta bekischa et ha'aleh shenach al roshecha. Did you guard, did you put away in your pocket the leaf that sort of, fluttered down onto your head? Really beautiful images of, did you really stop to connect to the earth, to nature? Ha'im kvar sharta shir hayom. Have you already sung a song? Ha'im matzata shvil hayom. Have you found a path? Ha'im hikshavta bechalom. Ha'im have you paid attention to a dream? Which is interesting, paying attention to a dream rather than to like what your work schedule is telling you. Ha'im berachta l'shalom, adam boded holech mulcha. Have you said hello? And it could be to, or there is a lonely man who's right across from you, right? Who's walking right across the way. Le'olam lo teda ma over lo b'neshama. You'll never know what's going on in his soul. And I think implied in that, at least for me, is you won't know what's going on in his soul if you don't reach out at least to make some human connection. So you'll see there's more lyrics. I didn't share them all today, but you can see that there's a sense here of inviting us to stop, to take account of ourselves, are we really aligning ourselves with our deeper purpose? And at the same time, inviting us to also reach out to other human beings as well. So let's take a couple of minutes just to hear the first half of this song, to give you a feel. Also, it gives you a sense of the broad repertoire of Tandu, but also gives you an interesting feel for a contemporary Israeli artist. I should also mention that Aaron Rosell is a religious singer, that he draws a lot from Hasidic tropes. He lives in Sfat, but it seems like his music is beyond sort of just traditional of what you might expect. So here is Ma Asita Hayom. Ma Asita Hayom. Ma Asita Hayom. Mi חיבקת בחום שלא נתן לך ללכת. מה חיפשת היום? מה מצאת היום? מה הצליח לגרום לך לעצור שוב ללכת? האם שמעת את השיר ששרה הציפור לך? האם שמרת בכיסך את העלה של נחל ראשך? האם כבר שרת שיר היום? האם מצאת שביל היום? האם הקשבת לחלום? האם ברכת לשלום? אדם בודד ולחולך לעולם לא תדע מה עובר לו בנשמה. So that gives you a taste of the beginning of the song. I wanted to mention the kind of more overt, I would say, religious allusion comes actually at the end of the song itself, when Aaron Rosell says, "And the path you discovered suddenly when you gathered the stones from the place, and the eyes themselves sought to close, to look inward on the ladder that will appear in a dream." And you can imagine when he starts talking about ladders and dreams, gathering stones together in one place, that immediately our mind goes to the story of Jacob running away from his brother in the book of Genesis, where he finds a place, a makom, that he gathers up the stones, puts his head on the stones, and has a dream of a ladder, of the story of angels descending and ascending the ladder from heaven and going heavenward. And in a sense, that place is a place of revelation. And at the end of the song, I think he's also alluding to inviting us into a new reevaluation, a new revelation about our own lives as well. So I want to thank you for hearing this brief teaching on these two songs, and looking forward to inviting you to taste and hear more as our band Tandu performs this coming Sunday. I look forward to a lively and interesting and energizing concert as we connect to Israeli music and its particularity, but also how the themes, its universal themes, speak to us as well. Thank you.